Ever since seeing that alien skull on the wall of the Predator ship in 1990's Predator 2, the prospect of two of film's greatest and scariest monsters going head to head seemed extremely likely. And although Dark Horse Presents number 36 introduced the idea of Alien vs Predator in February 1990 in graphic novel format, a feature film would subsequently be released in 2004 but was met with mixed to negative reactions, upsetting the vast majority of fans, especially when you consider that there was over a decade's worth of source material with which to draw inspiration from. Thankfully, however, between 1990 and 2004, there had been a lot of other AVP stories in various shapes and forms, and among them were video games. So with this episode, I will be looking at the critically acclaimed AVP arcade game released by Capcom in 1994. Developed for the CPS2 arcade system, AVP is a beat-em-up allowing you to choose between 4 characters, 2 human cyborgs and 2 predators, and allowed for up to 3-player co-op on some of the cabinets. The goal being to fight your way through hordes of aliens, rogue human soldiers, and zombie-esque human hosts. Despite popular belief, the awful shit sandwich Super Nintendo version was not a port of this arcade version, and was actually released a year before, despite being one of the most requested games in Capcom's catalog to get a re-release or HD remake. To date, AVP has never been ported to any home console. For this reason, the only legitimate way to play this game is to own one of the original cabinets, which, as you can imagine, is probably not the easiest or cheapest thing to find. To me, this stands as further proof that Nintendo's war against ROMs is exceptionally harmful to video game preservation, especially when you consider that these classic versions of consoles being released lately, while seemingly a nifty idea, only come preloaded with a handful of the original games. So not only do ROMs keep old games alive and relevant, they also allow people to play games that are literally impossible to play by any other means, such as AVP. So why is AVP so acclaimed? Well, for starters, the gameplay is spectacular. Everything about the game is frantic and chaotic, and you're really not given much of a breather as the relentless alien hordes will come at you non-stop. This is not a bad thing at all, mind you, quite the opposite in fact, as this really creates the urgent atmosphere of being in the midst of a war against countless xenomorph foes. The CPS2 arcade hardware does a fantastic job of handling numerous simultaneous sprites on screen with no slowdown or performance hit at all. And there are times where the screen is filled with alien drones as well as huge screen-filling boss characters too, all very impressive. The first 2 playable characters, Major Dutch Schaefer and Lieutenant Lynn Kurosawa of the US Colonial Marine Corps, are stuck in the midst of an absolute shitstorm as their superiors have abandoned them, leaving them to battle the alien hordes alone. Facing death, the 2 cyborg warriors are saved by 2 predators, the younger Predator Hunter and the more experienced Predator Warrior. After dispatching the alien drones, the Predators offer an alliance with Dutch and Lynn in order to destroy the alien infestation. The story is progressed by means of animated cutscenes after every level is cleared, and then concludes with the final sequence once the last boss has been defeated. AVP uses a 3-button system consisting of a jump, melee attack, and special projectile attack that has a cooling off period. Each character handles differently and has their own strengths and weaknesses. Lynn lacks attack power but makes up for it with speed, her melee weapon is a lethal katana, and her ranged is a devastating rapid-fire pistol attack. Unlike the other 3 characters, instead of a cooling off period, as with the Predator's shoulder cannons overheating, her pistol runs out of ammo and reloading leaves her completely vulnerable to attack. Dutch is slow and lumbering but has a powerful punch attack, and instead of jumping he has a charge attack. His ranged weapon consists of a highly effective smart gun built into his robotic arm. I've always had a preference for the Predator Warrior. His jump allowed him to get out of tough spots quite easily, and his retractable spear could do a lot of damage. The Predator Hunter is quite similar to the Warrior as they both use spear weapons and both have shoulder mounted cannons for projectile weapons. However, the Hunter has slightly more attack power and is a little less balanced overall. In addition, there are numerous pickups that can be used for a limited time, such as smart guns, pulse rifles, and the Predator Smart Disc, among others. You collect food and drink for extra health, and at times you can pick up a super magazine, which will allow you to use your projectile weapon for 9 seconds straight with no cooling off period. The brilliant thing about AVP is that each character is great in their own right and a lot of fun to play with, and at no point during my playthrough did I stick to one character, as I found myself constantly switching whenever I had to continue. The most obviously impressive aspect of this game is definitely the visuals. AVP looks spectacular with its bright and detailed graphics, making it easily one of the best looking beat 'em ups ever released even today. Everything is on point here. The aliens are delightfully animated and move and react exactly as you'd expect, and the boss characters are huge, impressively detailed sprites. Apart from the alien menace, you will also need to contend with rival predators, rogue marines, face huggers, and even power loaders as seen in 1986's Aliens. And speaking of aliens, there are also a couple of stages stuck in between where you are hitching a ride on the M577 APC as you gun down the hordes of aliens with an unlimited clip. A nice welcomed addition, I must say. The music mirrors the intensity and urgency of the gameplay as well, and the sound effects are meaty and satisfying. The pulse rifles also sound wonderfully authentic. All in all, this game is practically flawless. The only negative I can think of here was that I was able to complete the game in under an hour, but a 45-minute to 1 hour game length was pretty standard for arcade games. If you are a beat-em-up enthusiast, then you can't go wrong with AVP. It was always one of my favorites at my local arcade, and it is definitely just as good today as it was all those years ago. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. Until next time, cheers.